Today we are going to look at text features and how text features can help authors support their point of view. Now, remember when we read in our text, there were two opinions, one from Kelly Gold and one from Brett Berger. We're going to look at the pie chart and we're going to see what part of the pie chart can help Kelly Gold's argument. You are going to look at the pie chart as well, and you are going to decide which part of the pie chart can help Brett Berger's. Let's first read the question. Which statistic from the pie chart on page 7 would you select to support Brett Berger's opinion, and explain why? Use the model example as a guide. Now remember, you are going to respond to this question for Brett Berger. I, in this video, am going to show you how to do it in Kelly Gold's. So you can use my model as an example. Let's get started. So on page 7, I have my benchmark book right here. It shows me a pie chart of corn usage in 2010. And remember, we already read, according to Kelly Gold is approves to use corn as a source of energy. She likes that. She supports it. So I need to look in this pie chart which part of it supports her argument. I can easily see what stands out to me is that in the the dark orange, it says 10%. Only 10% of all of corn is being used as food. And I remember in Brett, he was talking about how we should use more for food. But it seems like in the United States, we only need about 10%. All the rest is for usage of other means. And I think 36% of that is used for fuel is not a bad percentage. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 36% and 10% as my support in Kelly Gold's opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. And in here, I'm going to zoom in. For Kelly Gold, I remember in her second paragraph, it says there are a few good reasons for America should continue to devote its corn crops to ethanol production. The first is the sheer abundance. It has proof in that pie chart that we have a lot and only 10% is being used for food. The rest is up for grabs. So 36% of the rest is not that bad to use for ethanol, right? So I'm going to use that as my argument. So I'm going to go ahead and bring your attention to the left side of my screen, and I'm going to start typing. And I want you to notice how I incorporate the statistic and explaining why it supports Kelly Gold's argument. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with reference to the pie chart. So in the U.S. corn usage, and notice how I make sure the title is correct, pie chart, only 10% is used for food consumption. So I've referred to the pie chart of the statistic I want to use, okay? Then I'm going to explain why. This means that there is 90%, which is a lot. There's 90% of corn left over. This proves, I'm going to use a quote from Kelly Gold. So remember we talked about the sheer abundance. This proves the sheer abundance of corn according to Kelly Gold. And I'm going to go ahead and explain a little further. Because there is so much corn, it is a wise decision to use only 36% of it for ethanol, which is remember Kelly said that it's a cleaner burning fuel. So let's go ahead and check what we wrote here. So let's see, I have to make sure that I have a statistic from the pie chart, and it shows that it's supporting the argument of Kelly Gold, and also I have to explain why. So let's see if I have it in here. In the US corn usage 2010 pie chart, only 10% is used for food consumption. So I did refer to the pie chart, and I also make sure my title is there. Now I'm going to explain it. This means that there is 90% of corn left over. This proves the sheer abundance of corn according to Kelly Gold. So I have my statistics here and how it supports the argument of Kelly Gold, how she says that there's absolutely just so much corn in United States. Then I explain a little further. Because there is so much corn, it is a wise decision to use only 36% of it for ethanol, which is a cleaner burning fuel. And I also quote it to explain why it is wise to use 36% for ethanol. So I have here two statistics, the 10% of food and 36% for ethanol, in my argument to support Kelly Gold. I'm going to leave my model here so that when you write your argument for Brett Berger, you can use that as a guide.